أهلا يا شباب. تحتاجون قهوة؟ لازم شوية تنتظرون. Sorry. Yeah. Any general managers in the room? Any GMs in the room? We have a GM in the room, Rania. Any other GMs? Any revenue managers? Revenue managers, hand up high, okay. What 3 things do revenue managers like to see? What do you like to see when you're checking your KPIs? Occupancy, what else? Yeah? RGI? What else? Now? RevPAR. Very good. Just testing that you're all hearing with me before we get started. Okay, very nice to be here, everybody. Where am I pointing? فوق يمنى يسرى القاع من. Okay. Hi everybody, اسمي Sara Al-Mukhtar, and thank you for the introduction. Thank you to the organizers, and of course I can't top your lovely thank you, Zainab, of everybody who has gone into organizing these events. So thank you everybody for being a part of it. Really appreciate it, including all those people taking multiple photos and preparing tea and coffee and snacks for us. So I really appreciate that. I have with me Jim. Put your hand up. Jim is part of our team. And Carlo, put your hand up, also part of the team. And our newest member, Muhammad, also part of the team. Give a wave. So that's your Lighthouse team, everybody. Feel free to come and see us. We're going to look at some market overview data, introduce Lighthouse and what we've been up to. Of course, no presentation is complete without AI updates, which will help you. Can you hear me okay? Is there a bit of an echo? Okay, it's fine. Right. And then Carlo and me will take some Q&A, but of course there's also the roundtables if we don't get to it if we're running on time. So just let me know. Okay, some market updates. What is this data? Market updates are giving us an insight to understand the market shift and intent for the travelers that are planning to come to this beautiful country. We look at flight search data, hotel search data, GDS data, and understand how this shift and intent can influence us and make the most of it. Let's start with the Cairo data. مصر الدنيا وإحنا في القاهرة فالحمد لله. Let's get started with the Cairo data. What we see here in the elevated dates are the 10-day Eid dates, Eid al-Adha, which is coming up. It's showing us an elevated demand, which means we can expect more clients than normal. Of course, what we see is this is our key, let's say, revenue management days that we should target for the next 60 days. And then afterwards, the demand kind of flattens out. But that does mean that we have a constant flow of guests. We've been in Cairo here yesterday, and you can see, for example, we have Gem working for us, but we went to that Gem, the Grand Egyptian Museum, and we saw that there's so many clients here, there's so many travelers here, and it's a really good sign. So the data also shows us this, that there is demand and a healthy flow of tourism. What we're going to take a look at now is the Red Sea destinations of Hurghada and Sharm El Sheikh. We can see that these two destinations mirror each other as far as demand is concerned. We see that very big peak in demand, where we see high demand, and that's specifically for the Eid al-Adha period. The clients that are coming here are traditionally from the GCC and local clients as well. Let's take a look here at the Cairo hotel pricing. So this is really nice over here. The first quarter has brought with it record high ADR. Record high ADR for Q1 due to the demand or due to other events that have potentially taken place. We see in the middle months between July and August, as the temperatures go up, prices go down. And an interesting thing that I really want you to pay attention to, if you've got properties that are based here in Cairo, is that Q4 between September and December. take a look at this. What's happening is the advertised pricing is lower than the actualized pricing for 2025. That means we could be leaving money on the table because what's happening is we're not reaching the pricing potential of what we had for last year. Could this be due to a lack of confidence? Could this be due to data? This is something that you can probably answer. Taking a look at, if we're again looking at the Red Sea destinations with Hurghada and Sharm El Sheikh, we can see that Hurghada and Sharm El Sheikh, both of them in Q1, are showing assertive pricing. So again, they're kind of benefiting from this winter destination. Lots of European travelers are coming and visiting winter in these ones. I'm living in Belgium, so I can tell you, I can understand why people want to come here in these times. We then, again, if I ask you to take a look at October through to December for both destinations, what you're going to see is, again, they're pricing in a more confident way for that last quarter, meaning that the actualized pricing of 2025 is quite close to what they're advertising for 2026. Yep, this is a broad range. It's expensive. Is that good? It's not good. It's the data from Lighthouse. This is the search, this is the price data that we're looking for the markets based on publicly available rates. So let's take a look at how you would optimize your rate, your pricing strategy. There are 4 ways in which you could do that. The first one is to understand the discounting of the destination, any particular destination you're looking at. The second, you can look at the feeder markets for the hotels and the flights. The third way you can look at it is by understanding what events are to be expected. Of course, not every destination is led by events. And then lastly, we can understand the short-term rental market. Let's take a look at the discounts in Cairo. So what we can see here is for April, the discounts between, approximately 10% of the hotels were having I'm just going to skip that one. Let's take a look at length of stay 3. So with the length of stay 3, we can see that this is the favored length of stay discount. The reason for that is we see that hoteliers are working hard in order to secure that extra night. This means they're willing to give a bigger discount to secure the stay with them. Sometimes we even see longer length of stay discounts, for example, a 4-day length of stay, because then that changes the behavior of the client, turning it from something like a short weekend stay to a holiday block. What we see also here with the mobile discounts, we see that only 10% of reservations in April were made using a mobile discount. This could be because a mobile discount wasn't seen as necessary to sweeten the deal, or it could have been that the market was not so sensitive to them. Over in Hurghada and Sharm El Sheikh, we're going to be taking a look here at the discounts. An interesting one that I want to point out is in Hurghada. That's the third one of the length of stay discounts. What we've actually seen is in April, they've actually reduced the number of discounts that are being used for length of stay 3. So this data is, again, just to show us what kind of discounts are being used by the market. And again, if we look at Sharm El Sheikh, what we're going to see with mobile discounting, it's a little bit small, but what we're going to see as a pattern is generally only about 10% of bookings were made with a 10% discount. And this could be because of the destinations that these are more complex reservations and people are not using mobile to make those bookings, right? You need a desktop, you need to understand all the offers that are going on. Let's take a look at the flights. So flights, these are flight searches based on people choosing Egypt as a final destination. So you can look at this data in different levels with the different airports or destinations, but generally we've looked at the data here because we know there's a variety of property destinations here. So if we can see the percentage of inbound searches, Italian searches at number 1 at almost double of the next one, which is Germany and Great Britain. So what we understood here, there was some comments earlier about the kind of customers that are coming to us. I think it was from you, Lawrence. So there's a trend of something called whycations, right? So why should I come here? I've been here maybe before. I want something maybe more like a cultural or a heritage store. How can we just stop being that accommodation provider, and how can we become an experience provider? Are we just selling accommodation, or could there be more? I don't have the answers today, but this is something that we wanted to raise when we're seeing what perhaps is the gap between that hotel search and the ADR, for example, that we're seeing for the destination. If we look at the other, for example, mix over here, we have different countries as well, which is showing the diversity and the changes potentially that are taking place in the market. The next, we're going to look at hotel searches, okay? Because somebody searching for a flight and somebody searching for a hotel could be different. Number 1 is Egypt. I'm glad we see a similarity in the data, right, Florence? Okay, so what we see is Egypt is the number 1 searching country for hotels in Egypt right now. Of course, Eid al-Adha is coming up very soon, which means that there is a surge of local tourism. Added to your Monday list is how can we capture this demand here? How can we capture these locals saying, I'm going to stay, I'm looking for a hotel in your destination. How can we act on that and make sure we're getting the most out of this very engaging time period for our prospective clients? Next, we consider events. So as far as we're concerned here for Cairo, for the Africa Hub Expo, this is probably going to be the biggest one for you. And of course, events are a massive driver. I mean, we're talking Taylor Swift and European Championships. Football, any football fans here? No? Yeah, at least my team. Thanks, guys. Yeah, very good. I'm a football fan. But the point is actually, I don't only want to talk about these mega events, which in Egypt, maybe we don't have these, we just saw back in the previous slide. But actually, smaller events can also be really useful. So if you see an event that's coming, if it's a smaller event but it's close to you and or relevant to your segment, then by all means, this is a great opportunity for you to use the data, look at these events, and even look at events last year or the ones that are coming next year to be able to gain more customers or say, can we provide a shuttle, etc. Let's take a look next at the short-term rental demand in Egypt. So short-term rental demand, this is alternative lodging on Airbnb or alternative lodging on booking.com. These are comparable with a hotel, right? So this is not the room in grandma's basement or something like this. This is more about the short-term rentals which are actually comparable and relevant to you as a hotel. Oh, okay, so that's the number, that's the demand over time. So the demand has shifted, we're here in May, and that's demand. Yeah, that's demand and then time, right? The months, it's a bit small. This is for Egypt. So over here is like how high is the demand, the y-axis. And the x-axis is the month. Let's come back to that one. Okay, so then what we're going to be taking into consideration when we're looking at short-term demand is we're going to be able to consider, for example, that the lines are getting blurred. If I'm coming to stay here with my family, I might be searching for things which are competing with hotels, right? The short-term rentals are competing with hotels. Short-term rentals in general are booking earlier, anytime between 1 month to 45 days earlier than real hotels. Short-term rentals are actually able to absorb demand. So before that demand comes to you, it could be taken by short-term rentals. The last reason you should be thinking about it is, let's say that you're taking a look at your competitive data, you're keeping in mind all of this that's happening with your hotels and other competing hotels. That's great, but what if you are losing out to a competitor you didn't know about? What if I'm going to opt in, let's just say I go for a luxury a luxury apartment versus your executive suite because your executive suite is more expensive. So this is the type of knowledge that we want to share with you and why short-term rentals are relevant. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you presenting it as
It's not that you should be seeing it as threatening, it's that it's the complete concept, the competitive set, who is competing for the customer. So I wouldn't, the threat is a really scary word, right? But it's somebody who could be taking share from you without us really realizing it. This is you, me. Yeah. If I'm somebody who's maybe got I'm trying not to pitch here, right? However, what we can see in Lighthouse, for example, is who surrounding you has a short-term rental. How far away from you are they? What price are they based at? What kind of amenities do they have? Have they changed their price in the last week? Are they applying dynamic prices? So these are all things in which we can help you see visibility into, because we know when you're looking at short-term market, then you're looking at the complete concept view. We're shopping the rate data. I'm really glad you guys are really engaged in this. Let's get through the presentation. There is a Q&A that Carlo and me will help you guys with. All right. Okay, so technology is evolving quickly. We've seen the amazing work that Glassness, Profit Room, all our partners are able to do here. It's just amazing, even from a year ago, and seeing how much progress has happened is just really, really impressive. And we don't stop also at Lighthouse. To start at Lighthouse. I'm just making a point here. What we're trying to do is we're trying to get you to use future-looking data, not yesterday's data. What we want to look at here is connecting the dots. That is bridging the different parts of data and making them meaningful. And of course, it means bottom line for you, better revenue, better KPIs, which is what we like, which is what we agreed on at the beginning of the presentation. Lighthouse, as some of you may know us, we have been unifying our platform. We've been working with our platform and our teams, and we're constantly innovating, and we're constantly seeing fluctuation, disruption in the market. This is not new for all of us, and it's a bit the pink elephant in the room, if you will. What we want to do, however, is we want to continue to innovate to make your lives easier and make sure the customers that are coming, we're converting them, you're getting the right data to act with confidence. No longer are we just a rate shopper, we are a unified platform. That's what we do. We help you with your pricing, your distribution, your direct growth channel, and your performance. So don't take my word for it, but take the expert's view on it. Year over year, we have consistently performed at the #1 trusted platform. Whilst we have been known as a rate shopper, this is just one step of the picture, one step of the story. Lighthouse pricing enables you to look at the forward-looking demand data. It's helping you to see the short-term rental data and give clear recommendations to help you act with confidence. Lighthouse Direct, which is also what Lawrence mentioned a little bit before, we're helping you to boost our direct bookings with real-time website personalization and turning those viewers on your website into bookers on your website, driving growth by about 32% on average. Lighthouse Performance is helping you to have all your trusted data and your trusted sources in one place. Now let's take a look at these AI updates. How many times have we heard AI today? Any approximations? 1,000. Any others? Not enough, Vanya? Good. Okay, more. All right, let's take a look at the AI updates. So, whilst we did see that AI is, in terms of ChatGPT or whatever, small, but we see that it's accelerating every day. This is not going away. This is a pattern. Who here uses, just as an example, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, all of the other ones? Yeah, very good. Yeah, it's part of life now, right? And that's the idea. We surveyed clients, and compared to a couple of years ago, we can see that the trend is going upwards. We all expect AI to have an impact on what it is that we do. However, 9 out of 10 of us are not ready for that impact. What this means is there is a big opportunity for us to help you, a big opportunity for you to look into how can I commit to be able to have this work for me. We are earnest about what we're doing here at Lighthouse and how we approach AI. We're seeing the biggest shift since Google search in the last 20 years. What we're doing is we're taking our innovator mindset, our position as a market leader, and we're connecting you to the chatbots where the customers are and where there's growing numbers of customers are going to be. Connect AI is able to, it's an industry-first AI engine for hotels, powering your direct bookings on ChatGPT. And of course the other chatbots, not just ChatGPT, but because this is the most common one. This means that your hotels are discovered, understood, and bookable by AI. Be discovered. It means that you're not overlooked and you're being recommended. Be understood. I don't know if you know, but ChatGPT, I find is great. But if it doesn't know something, it might just create, I don't know, a Reddit website from somewhere or an old website. It doesn't understand the websites as you or me understand the websites. And this is where we can help you structure that data. Be booked directly. Imagine if I'm chatting with the AI robot and saying, I'm going to stay in, I don't know, let's say in Paris next month or in Cairo the month after that, and I want a hotel that is close to a certain convention center or has certain amenities, and then you get, I find you there, I have understood your data, and then I can make that final booking on your website. Lighthouse is able to take those clients and make them come to your website on your booking engine that's existing. Shifting gears a little bit here, this is about AI decision making for commercial teams. What we're working on is something called a revenue agent, and what we're doing is we're basically teaching skills like a revenue manager to our AIs. And as I think Ahmed mentioned before, this is not to make anybody's job go away, but it's actually to help save us time and become more efficient in what we do. It learns from our actions, it learns from the way we do things, doing the heavy lifting for us and helping us find what we say, the needle in the haystack. The revenue agent is able to do this in 2 ways. We're able to use smart insights, which is basically finding your most important actions for the next 90 days. Or if you're using some of our other solutions, have this at the portfolio level, sending you emails every day. Where are you at for your forecasting compared to what's expected? Let's take a look at how that looks like as opposed to just talking about it. An AI smart summary is telling you, hey, you're forecasting to pick up 8 rooms. Hey, you're exceeding budget by 1,744. Would the boss be happy or not so happy? It depends on which type of property, right? Then we're taking a look at smart insights. So the smart insights here are showing us the most important data based on our KPIs. And again, for example, this could be based on the fact that there could be an event near you, or that your rates are lower compared to this time last year, whatever it might be. But we're showing you the most important insights for the next 90 days. And this will get better and better as you give us feedback too. According to FocusWire, 61% of travel brands are already testing or scaling agentic AI. And again, this is not to scare you, but this is an opportunity to get you to think about this and to commit into your steps. Adding another Monday or Tuesday task for you. But this is really a time of change. And change can be uncomfortable, and change can be something that really helps you not only now, but in a year from now, 2 years from now. And taking those steps can really add to your future success. So Carlo is going to join me for some Q&A, and then you can ask some questions if we've got time. Yes? 5 minutes? Okay, very good. Well, thanks, Carlo. Available data for rates to try and understand what is being sold on Booking.com, on hotel websites, on Expedia. This is something that we use for the rate shopping module. Then there's the data of our forward-looking demand data, which is shopped from a variety of sources, including GDS, including flights data, and so on. The short-term rental data as well is from publicly available. So, for example, you've got Airbnb providing us data and so on.
So again, I mean, we have we work with many different data sets. One of them is the own rate shopping we're doing. I mean, we're shopping more than 185,000 hotels several times a day, and we have our own proprietary technology to understand from those rate shops what demand is because we can see the length of stays or the different rates appearing or disappearing. There's already some deep learning applied to that. On top of that, we have sources for the events. We also are connected with through API to starting as well by monthly API to all like travel agencies and on top of the GDS as well, so we can see the searches and the demand on the sources as well. So I don't know if this answers your question. On top of that, we also have all the short-term rentals, and the short-term rentals is a very important one. Because we've been learning how this is impacting the whole picture. And out of all these different analyses of the competition, what everyone is doing in this room probably is looking at the concept. But we've been learning that the concept is not enough, because the concept is a kind of a fixed concept that you can always have the same. But the market is dynamic. The users are searching for in different ways, and they are comparing your hotels with other hotels that might not be in your concept at some times, or even your short-term rentals. And that's why we've been adding to all the data set to understand what is the smart concept, what is the whole picture where you're actually competing. And that's, I mean, it's a very large picture because, as I say, we have using many data sets. And one of the things that Sara was explaining is, at the end of the day, when we talk about adding all this technology of AI, agentic AI, it's not to replace the role of the revenue manager. Actually, we are making it so sophisticated, so complex, that we need to add some layer of simplicity to this complexity. I mean, the job of the revenue manager is getting more and more complex because over the years we've been adding more data, more technology, more knowledge, and how we can support and help revenue managers. This agentic technology is actually trying to identify all this. It's a helper that is working 24 hours trying to identify anomalies in your hotel, in your market, in your concept, in your smart concept, in the events that were predicted and the ones that are not predicted. All that, this is a surface of information that helps revenue managers. No,
I think we need to book a demonstration to show you how this would work for you.
So we always talking about actual data. It's the only thing that we do. No, we have, as I said, we have very different sources. So let's say every time that a hotel is using our solution, is shopping competitors. We shop competitors through scrapping, through APIs. We have all our hotels have their own. We have the integration with the booking engine, so we can read the booking engine. We have integration through the PMS, so we can see it on the books. And it's all in hundreds of different sources of integration of data that we are convening all together. Not only online, also offline. I mean, we're talking also about the forward-looking on the books data that is not even online, because we have the business intelligence solution that was expanded. The performance, like how Lighthouse performance is connected to the PMSs. So we have the whole information there. Yes, but not only yes.
The data that we saw, for example, here for prices, this was about Sharm and Hurghada, right? No, this is market data, so we look at thousands and thousands and thousands of data points every day. For online business, we don't have offline business. No, it's an online business that we have the data for. And with that, we're able to get information about what was the promoted price, what was the actualized price, what is the projected price, and so on. And this, whilst it's not giving, I guess this is the message here, there is a lot of offline business, right? And these destinations, huge. Seen it before. We know that. I need to wrap up. I was just going to say, this part of the online world, however, where there is visibility, can help us drive the business. It's an excellent guideline. And on that, I think I need to wrap up. Thanks very much. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you.